Romance and baseball. I know many of you think this is such a strange topic, but it's summer. For me, romance, watching baseball online always makes me get into a bit of a dreamy state. I think back, especially when it comes to romance, I think of some of my favorite songs. I feel as though summer also brings out those feelings of what is possible, our untold potential. When you listen to someone like SADE or the Bodines, both of those links are on my podcast for romantic music, you just wonder these amazing artists that they create these beautiful songs that take us to another time and place. Or perhaps you're in that state of mind right now where you're on top of the world. You can conquer anything. There is absolutely no barriers to your life. And I feel that way about being romantic, about watching silly antics on the baseball clips. That's why I'm doing the podcast with such an unusual genre over the summer, because for me, summer is a really happy time. I happen to love it. Even though it's hotter than Hades sometimes in Florida. I grew up in Texas. I would rather have 360 days of sunshine where I can bike and swim because I'm happy. That's why it's important that we actually listen to people like Pritchett, who is one of the foremost transformation gurus in the world. While he works specifically with corporate America, the C-suites, etc., he's produced this little handbook called U Squared. He talks about such things as our unseen forces. He talks about such things as reaching our potential. He has 12 steps in this little handbook that will help you even when it comes to finding love. Rather than, while we think about U Squared, which is his famous little handbook I'm referring to, we think, well, this just has to do with business. It really doesn't, because he talks to us about our life choices and how they are life-changing. Many of us are afraid to make those life changes. We're chicken. We're afraid because we're afraid of change. We want to stay with the status quo. Many of us are doing that instead of pursuing our dreams. That's why I include these romantic songs on this podcast. I included funny antics by the baseball players, because the other thing, when you start laughing and when you listen to fun music, your endorphins, all those happy hormones come to the surface. When those happy hormones come to the surface, they really will help you project a happier lifestyle for yourself. You don't wallow in misery and listen to sad songs and constantly watch the ejections on YouTube, which these umpires are crazy. Remember that listening to romantic songs will make you happy. Don't listen to the sad ones. That's why I put Sade. Bodines are really fun, high energy guys to listen to. And they always tell a story. Sade's song, Your Love is King, just makes you feel happier in the world. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to listen to these songs. I want you to watch these baseball antics. I want you to be happy. Summer is a really happy time. I like to help people continue to be happy and realize their unseen forces and do something that's life-changing. At the bottom of the podcast details, I now have 3 areas: discover, adventure, guidance. I put Pritchett's clip that's called Go Brave, which is a great way to get your creative juices flowing, for you to realize that you're not alone in pursuing a big dream or a big accomplishment and all the feelings you're going to go through. This can be if you're also practicing like Simone Biles for the 2024 Olympics. If you're an athlete, if you're a budding athlete, watch this clip. You'll understand that it's worldwide what we're going through when we're going through big changes. For Kundalini Yoga, which is always a free virtual class link on my podcast, it's going to be for the duration of summer. It's going to be about prosperity And protection. I've been practicing Kundalini every day for over 30 years. It has super changed my life. It has supercharged my life and my thinking, and I see results. Anytime you repeat something over and over and over again, you're going to find that result. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it may take a couple of months. Sometimes it can take some years, but just practice it. What is important about this specific Kriya is that it is about prosperity, not just prosperity in your wealth, in your bank account, but in your health, with intrinsic relationships, with your vocation, your outlook on life can all lead to prosperity within yourself, your own inner self, to become prosperous and to feel prosperous and to think prosperity. Hara Prakash, my favorite Kundalini yoga teacher, also teaches us in the same Kriya to practice protection. Once you start making changes in your life, you're going to need some protection because there aren't a lot of people out there who will support you when you start making life changes. And this is an amazing way to protect yourself. Lastly, wine. Some of the greatest values still today are in Portuguese wines. Some of you know that I am actually studying European Portuguese, but I have sold Portuguese wines in the past. I found a great video. The link is there on my podcast on Portuguese wines and where to find them how to know about them and educate yourself on Portuguese wines. One of my favorite wines, of course, is going to be a rosé, and this rosé is from Lagos, which is the Algarve district. You can go online and research Portuguese wines, great values. Certainly contact me. I can send you a list of where to find them and which wines you should also imbibe this summer. The Portuguese wines are great summer wines because they have hot summers. Therefore, they're making wines that are low in alcohol, what we call quaffers. We like to call them patio pounders. Now, those are great selections. Always contact me. I'll help you find the wines, where to purchase them, companies, wine stores that actually ship also. To wrap this up, romance and baseball go hand in hand for me because you can listen to happy romantic songs that take you perhaps where you are in a romantic mood now. I'm sure you all have beautifully romantic songs that you'd like to share with other people, so put them in the comments. Baseball, I always include feel-good tips. It's amazing to watch these baseball players, and remember, they practice every day. Therefore, if you have a big dream, a big achievement that you're reaching for, practice it every day. Don't need to tell anybody what your big dream is. Just practice. Find some way to do something every day for 5 minutes that leads you to your goal. Practice this Kundalini Yoga Kriya. See your life start to change slowly and surely to where you are happy 99% of the time. Lastly, the Portuguese wines, there's a link to a video which you can learn about them there. Certainly feel free to send me a comment. I can help you find the wines within your budget limit. To conclude, I'm Valerie Hale. I produce this podcast once a week to help people change their mindset, improve their mindset, which means help you with changing your thought patterns. Remember, thoughts become things, so choose the good ones. I also help people overcome their anxiety when making presentations, whether that be with your elevator pitch, a presentation that you need to make at your company, maybe you've received a promotion. I'm here to help. The link for that class is on the podcast details also. And subscribe. Subscribe to my podcast. I'm on all of them, Apple, Spotify. I go out to 28 directories. Merci. Au revoir.